You came here to see an Explorer yacht, and here she is, Ocean Angel, an Ocean King Doge 400 that's just been on display at Monaco Yacht Show, where she was appreciated by thousands of people.
But this video is about so much more than the yacht. In this, the first of a series of 3 videos, we'll see the man who wrote the book on Explorer yachts, David Ballarin, and his brother Alberto. Their nephew Marco, who revived my faith in the future of Italian yacht builders. Luciano, the metalworker. Federico, the pipe maker, Stefano, the sales director, and Simone, the project manager, in the stunningly beautiful town of Chioggia, just south of Venice. And it is here that the Ocean King Shipyard lies. Now you might think I'm about to say that the Ballarin brothers are passionate about yachts, but that's not actually their first passion. Their first passion is ships. Built from steel, engineered for safety and reliability, used commercially, ships. At the time that I visited, the shipyard had 17 projects underway, varying from constructing entire vessels to maintenance and repair work, repairs, and of course our yacht, Ocean Angel, about to be taken out of the shed and launched. But before I tell you about the yacht itself, let me tell you why I believe it will be so special. When I say that David Ballarin wrote the book on Explorer yachts, I wasn't kidding. This is it. The birth of a true explorer. Notes, ideas, and the genesis of the project by David Ballarin. 86 pages of information about why a true explorer yacht should be built with a steel hull, different hull shapes, bulbous bows, self-righting and tipping, propellers, fuel systems. He even compared the modern production techniques of Ocean King with the older methods used to build the Titanic, and has a chapter explaining why it would not have sunk if it had been built by Ocean King. Now, just about everybody knows about the problems with the lack of watertight compartments in the Titanic. But did you know that it was also built from a steel that became rigid and more fragile in very cold temperatures? Whereas the steel used by Ocean King is RINA Grade A steel, a steel that retains its elasticity even in the harsh climate of the North Atlantic at temperatures of minus 30 degrees Celsius. Marco was keen to show me the hull of an 80-metre commercial ship in construction at the shipyard, and to point out to me that the thickness of the steel and the type of the steel used for this mighty ocean-going ship is exactly the same as the hull of Ocean Angel and the other Explorer yachts that they build. To be precise on that subject, the 80-metre ship has a relatively flat bottom with a uniform thickness, whilst Marco showed me this cutout of the yacht hull with a 20mm thick keel and a hull that was 12mm thick at the lowest point. He was also keen to point out that Ocean King used continual welding. Many yacht builders also use continuous welding where the hull is examined by a classification society, but they use spot welding where it is not. It's worth asking about that if you're thinking of buying a steel-hulled yacht. And on that subject of classification societies, take RINA, for example. Now, that's the Italian Naval Registry. Like other classification societies, they will offer different sorts of certificates. One certificate, for example, simply states that the yacht complies with CE certification. But as The Birth of a True Explorer book explains, even a pair of slippers can get CE certification. It doesn't really mean that much. Or they can offer a certification that entails them sending a representative to the shipyard regularly to examine the materials, the construction method, the way that the systems are installed on board. Every detail of the yacht is under their scrutiny. Interestingly, we were talking to the captain of Ocean Angel about that RINA process during the construction, and he used a very Italian hand gesture. He went, RINA. We all laughed about that, but David and Alberto said, well, of course it has to be that way. We work with RINA representatives that are certifying ocean-going liners and cruise ships. Those are the people that we work with. They work to the very highest of standards, and that's the kind of certification that we offer with our yachts. But Ocean Angel is not the first yacht that this shipyard has built. It is actually the second Doge 400 model, and they've also delivered a model called the Ducali. You may recall that I filmed a finished Ducali called Veus last year, which is when Ocean King first came on my radar. Their early foray into yacht building, though, was significant, and it led the Ballarin brothers to meeting this man, Stefano Falaschi, now the Chief Commercial Officer of Ocean King. Stefano's worked for decades in the luxury yacht industry, many years with a well-known Italian yacht builder. He was at a boat show one year and he saw this. The Ocean King motor yacht Genesia, a 130-foot vessel with a very beautiful super yacht quality interior and an exterior that, let's say, raised eyebrows from the boat show crowd. Stefano told me how he took a look on board and quickly recognized that the engineering and build quality of this yacht was outstanding. He told the Ballarin brothers, this is not a yacht, this is a ship. So impressed was Stefano by what he saw, and so inspired by the possibilities of this shipyard, that in 2019 he joined the team and introduced Ocean King to yacht designers who could work with the shipbuilding approach of the company to give their vessels a more appealing aesthetic, while still retaining the robust heart of a ship. This chemistry gave birth to the company motto, Ocean King, where ships become yachts. I met two of the designers during my visit to the shipyard, Alessandro Lottici of ALot Design and Francesca Burdisso of Burdisso Capponi. Alessandro is the man responsible for the exterior design of the Doge. He explained to me that his remit was not so much to design a yacht, but rather a range of yachts that were clearly explorers, so with good volume and plenty of deck space for a good-sized tender. The reverse rake to the windscreen speaks to the yacht's ability to take on high seas, as does the high bow. As a part of his design, he would draw up a layout for the yacht, and together with the shipyard, he needed to make sure that this would be achievable. That is to say that there would be sufficient space for electrical systems, plumbing, air conditioning, not to mention the actual steel structure of the yacht itself. It was impressive to see Alessandro and the Ocean King's staff looking at this sophisticated software that shows just about every part of the yacht in 3D, from soft furnishings to pipes and scuppers. Meanwhile, Francesca Burdisso of Burdisso Capponi worked hard with her team to ensure that the interior design of Ocean Angel would have a luxury yacht feel to it. By starting with broad sketches to get feedback from the owner, the drawings were gradually refined to create an ambience that employs elegant wooden grills and fully utilises all kinds of lighting methods, resulting in a truly magnificent interior design that the owner and their guests will feel comfortable with. But it would be remiss of me to not also mention the incredible town in which Ocean King build their yachts, Chioggia, an absolute gem of a place with an incredible culture for fine food and of course for shipbuilding. The hospitality I experienced during my trip there, it was simply extraordinary.
I must say something that I've really enjoyed in this trip is the great sense of humour. There's a chemistry between the Ballarin brothers that is absolutely hilarious. Earlier they showed me an advert that they'd like to run. They probably would never publish it, but it was so funny and so true. The day after filming, Ocean Angel was taken out of the shed in preparation for her launch the following Sunday. Katia visited her to cover her sea trials, so if you've ever wondered what happens on a sea trial, make sure you don't miss that video.